What's going on, Paranormal Worldwide crew? I've got Daryl Marston himself with us right now. So,
what's up, guys?
Give everybody a few minutes to roll on in here. We'll get started.
Yeah, no worries, man. Let them get in. It's Saturday night. Wake up, guys.
Yep.
Time to party.
That's supposed to be out investigating. No reason to be sleeping right now.
No sleeping. You should be investigating or drinking right now.
Right.
After cutting your yard.
Slam a Red Bull or a Bang, be good to go.
Yeah. Oh, man. So what's going on?
Not much. Just enjoying the weekend.
Yeah.
It's about to get crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good summer. I'm excited, man.
Speaking of that, since we got an audience started now, go ahead and tell everybody what you got coming up, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, man. I am like totally booked out right now doing these events and filming for Epic Haunts and the Hidden Reels. That's part of Paranormal Warehouse. We've kind of started our own production company on the side, and we're really banging stuff out right now, man. Really exciting stuff. We just released Penhurst yesterday, the second part of Penhurst, and we got some other places lined up this summer to do some filming. We got some big things coming up I really can't mention right at the moment because we're kind of like in the middle of talking deals and stuff with some companies. But yeah, it's very exciting, man. And the next big event I got coming up is at Red Mill. We're going to be down there, Mustafa and I, on the 30th of this month. It's like a meet and greet type thing, signing autographs, taking pictures, just hanging out with the public. We did a big event back there in October of last year where it was amazing. It was a pay-per-view we did. It turned out really good. Everybody loved it. And so they invited us back, and we're going to be back there again in July 9th and 10th for an actual investigation with the public. So those tickets are going to be going on sale probably either tomorrow or Monday. We'll put it out there for everybody to see through Flumery Productions. Man, yeah, dude, just killing it right now, man. Just glad, seeing all these mandates, these mask mandates getting dropped so we can get back out there, all of us, and investigate and have some good time.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. It's been a rough last year and a half. If we could think back, it's like, holy cow. So it's really nice to see people not having to wear their mask anymore, and you're actually interacting more, having more social events going on, seeing everybody living again.
Yeah, we really lucked out with that. I mean, the whole, the COVID thing for the show with Ghost Hunters, we actually just wrapped that season, man, like maybe a week or two before everything got locked down.
Oh, wow.
Just wrapped in Alaska. And then we came home, and I remember Brandon, myself, and Brian had to fly back out to Utah to do some interviews for the show. And we were out there for 3 days, and we literally got back. We did an event in California. As soon as I flew home, everything was shut down, man. We were so lucky.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was.
Talk about threading the needle. Dang.
Yeah, it was a godsend in a way that we were able to get everything done and not get stuck right in the middle or the end of a season. But yeah, it worked out. I mean, COVID didn't work out, of course, because it sucked.
Right.
But for us, filming the show, it really worked out, man. And we were able to wrap that up. Thank God.
Definitely. We've got some people tuning in. What's going on, Eileen? I'm going to give people some shout outs here. Case Scales, Mikey Beaner, T-Dog's in the house, Vicky, Wes Everett, and Krista. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Sometimes they show up as Facebook users, so I'm kind of multitasking between my phone. That way I can figure out who's who.
Yeah, no worries, man. Do what you got to do.
So, I mean, let's talk paranormal, man.
Let's do it. What you got?
What has been your most favorite location that you've ever had the chance to investigate?
On and off the show? I say on the show, probably. I got three that really stick out. My favorites, man. I know you asked for one, but on the show, I'm going to say probably Fort Stanton, Haines, Alaska, and probably Clifton, Arizona.
Nice. Yeah, that Arizona episode, man, that was something else. Like, that blew me away. I watched that, and I was like, it's just something you see in like a horror movie. What the hell's going on?
That's why it was so compelling, man. Yeah, it wasn't just the paranormal side of things. You're seeing the human side of things as well. Where when that crosses, sometimes it's not a good thing.
No.
And that's what you saw, man. We were out there for almost 15 days.
Wow.
I tell you what, it got pretty hairy, man, pretty quick. Where the production company had to basically hire a police force to be with us, from a neighboring county, and it was pretty wild, man. It was we got through it though, and it really tested the team, which is a good thing. It really it put us all on edge. We were all at each other's throats for that whole 2 weeks. But I tell you what, man, when it came out and you saw it, you saw the actual episode. We usually see it about a week or two before everybody else does. You're like, okay, this is why we did all that. And because the whole time you're out there, you're like, I want to go home. I just
what's the purpose
anymore at this point, because it's getting a little dangerous for people, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But I tell you what, and the thing is, I want to put this out there: 99.9% of the people out there in Clifton, Arizona, were effing amazing, man. Great people. They rolled the red carpet out for us, and they even made us lifetime members of Chambers of Commerce.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we got a plaque and everything, and but there was like this small percentile that just did not want us there, man, for whatever reason, and it got pretty hairy.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. Sometimes I'm more scared of the living than I am the dead.
Oh, absolutely. I've been on investigations where I've actually had a drive-by done on the building we were in at the time. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's scary, man. Because some of these places you go to, people don't realize, some of them are located in really bad neighborhoods.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this place is a really bad neighborhood, man. And they didn't want people there, and I guess they figured, they didn't know if you were the cops or who you were, but they lit the building up, man, a couple times.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and that becomes like more personal than anything, because all it does is take one stray round, man. That's all it takes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a ricochet, it's just it's unpredictable.
Yeah, I mean, you hear all these, you heard the stories when you're before you got there, and you're like, okay, this can't be as bad as they're making it out to be, but it was just as bad outside as it was in this location was insane. It's in Cleveland, and just the location alone was pretty bad. It's one of the probably one of the most crazy experiences I've ever had investigating. But you gotta pick and choose, man. You want to go outside, or you want to stay inside, and it was just man. It was crazy. Yeah.
No, that's you can't. I mean, you can prepare, but you can never fully prepare for a situation like that.
No, absolutely not. And I when I'm off the show, I always carry. I have concealed carry permit.
Yeah, you have to nowadays, man.
Yeah, I'm licensed in like 30 some states to carry, and I usually carry. So, but not on the show, of course.
Right.
But yeah, it's I was ready. Believe me, I was like,
yeah,
I'm not going down without a fight.
There's just some locations where it's like you got to have it,
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the day and age we live in.
For sure. So everybody that's watching, don't be shy. Feel free to ask some questions.
Yeah. You got any questions about the show or what's going on? Hey, shoot them. I'm very open.
Speaking of Alaska too, I bet that was one hell of an experience, man, because it's such a beautiful area out there. And then going through all the winter weather you all hit.
we were there in January, man. And Alaska in January is no fun. And it was crazy because the location we went is literally it's a 3.5 hour boat ride to get to. So
that's crazy.
And the location, the town, well, they shut down their ferries starting January to March because the weather's too bad. So we had to charter a ship to take us out there, a private boat. And getting there wasn't too bad. We did hit like this crazy squall that came out of nowhere, probably in the last half hour or so before we hit land. But coming back, we actually had to turn around the one day and come back and stay an entire another night because the weather was just, the captain was like, we can't do this. We got an hour into the boat ride, and we were hitting like 12 and 13-foot waves just coming over the bow of the boat. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, we call it going out there. We were out there for about a week and a half, and I tell you, the evidence we captured was so worth what the elements that we put up with when we were out there. Amazing stuff up there in the Halsingland Hotel. Yeah, crazy. Yep. Never been investigated by anybody on TV. Actually, I don't think it's ever been investigated before, ever, because there's no paranormal teams up there. And that was one of the things we tried to get started when we were up there. Like, hey, you guys, because we kept having the locals come to us say, you guys got to investigate this place and this place and that place while you're here. I'm like, well, we just don't have time. So what you guys need to do is start your own team. Start a paranormal group. And you guys investigate. Send us the evidence you capture. We'll check into it for you. But we're only here for 7 or 8 days, so there's not a whole lot we can do. In Halseyland, it was 3 buildings. It wasn't just one, so it's a pretty big place.
Oh yeah, and the places, like you said, that never get investigated, those sometimes are the hidden gems of the paranormal field, man. Because they're not, the spirits aren't burnt out like, say, Waverly Hills or these places where ghost hunters and investigators are always constantly coming in asking the same questions. So kind of curious.
They're my favorite places to do. The ones that've never been investigated, especially on TV. The ones that have never been investigated, period. Because you go in there, you're more likely to capture something. Yeah, because you're going in there and you're asking questions where a lot of times whoever's been there before is not asking questions. They want to get the hell out, and then something, you're coming in there and you're making yourself known and letting it know that it's there. Sometimes you get some compelling evidence out of stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. T-Dog's in the house finally. T-Dog.
What's going on, bud?
What's going on, Daryl? How you doing, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. I heard you've been staying pretty busy, man.
It's just getting busier, man, every day. Yeah. But it's good. It's a good thing. Being busy is good.
That's it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Eileen Jones asked you, how do you find the locations you decide to investigate off the show?
Off the show? A lot of times, I get hit up almost every day with emails, or people will just hit me up on social media asking, hey, I got this location, or I've got this problem. And it's just making, over the years, not just on ghost hunters, but over the years, I've been doing this since 2005. It's just making contacts and friends, and everybody just shoots that stuff at me. I've got a list of places that want us to come investigate and film there for Epic Haunts and the hidden reels, and it's just finding the time to do it, man. Yeah, that's pretty much how that's how all mine come to me now, to be honest with you. I really don't reach out. People just they send them to me.
They find you.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, let's do it.
Yeah, I imagine
that's a blessing too, man.
Yeah,
not having to dig anymore. Yeah. It's just like they're there.
Everybody else. At one time I was scrounging to find places to investigate, and you're paying out your backside to investigate some of these places. I've been blessed enough where I really don't have to do that anymore. Thank God. They reach out to me, and plus, they know I'm coming to a paranormal warehouse where, if I come in here and stream it, that's going to automatically bring 500,000 people watching what you got going on in that location, because we have 500,000 followers. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wes Everett asks, have you ever thought about writing a book from your personal investigations the show?
I suck at writing. I have to get somebody to do it for me, a ghostwriter or something. I would love to sit down and maybe tell some of the nitty gritty. Some of the stuff I really know.
Right? Right. Keep it real, man. That's what we love.
And maybe kind of shed some of the paranormal stuff out there, and what do they call it? I forget the name of it, but just kind of shed some light on some things. Rumors and things of that nature. But it'd be fun. Yep. It'd probably kill my career, but
well, people got to realize it's not all sunshine and rainbows, man. A lot of stuff goes on that most people aren't seeing. It's not the little walk of glory that it appears to be.
No. And most of the people I've ever worked with in this business, man, even on the TV side, are genuine people, amazing people. And I really can't say anything bad about them. I'm just messing around. But it's I've been very blessed to be where I'm at and to and made the friends I've made, and and to have the people in my life, and especially on the paranormal side of things, where I can do the things I do and turn my hobby into my job, which is I never thought would ever happen.
It's a blessing, man. Like that's the thing I love about our field, man. Is just don't get me wrong, I love investigating, I love doing the paranormal stuff, but I like getting out and I like meeting all the awesome people that are out there in the world. That's what I cherish.
You're in the right spot to do it, because when I started doing it, was probably around 2014 or so is when I started doing the podcast and the live streams. And the only reason I did it was, I mean, I was out almost 3 or 4 times a month investigating and traveling and doing these locations and throwing stuff up on YouTube and this and that. And it just wasn't there, man. And I said, oh, man, I need to pull back. But I want to stay connected with the paranormal field somehow, and maybe only do 3, 4, 5 places a year. And that's when I started doing the live streams, and then I got into podcasting, and then I went back to live streams again. That's when I went to Paranormal Warehouse, and man, it was a blessing, man, to get into it, because I made so many more connections that way. I mean, that's how Ghost Hunters actually found me, was doing live streams, and it was just the right thing to do. It just it happened at the right time and in the right point in my life where I wanted to. I started in 2015, I think, with the live streams, and dude, it's been a fun ride, man. And now
I'm for sure
running Paranormal Warehouse.
Go. But you put in a lot of work, bro. You've put in the work to get where you're at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I appreciate
that's definitely to be respected,
But there's a lot of people who have to and haven't had the I keep saying blessing, but it is to me. It's a blessing. And it is. And there's a lot of people out there who are well deserved to be in that situation too, man. It'll come. It's just being in the right place at the right time, man. And it'll happen eventually. Just keep at it. Whatever you're doing, doesn't matter if it's paranormal, doesn't matter your podcasting, live streaming. If you keep at it, man, and you believe in yourself and you have a sense of direction, then it'll come to you.
They picked a badass crew for this past run of Ghost Hunters, man. Like everybody I've met, they're just like us,
Well, we are.
I mean, that's what I love about it.
We didn't come passionate a team. I mean, and nothing. This is nothing against Taps. I mean, they were their thing. They were all knew each other. When we came together, none of us knew each other.
Nope.
I've never heard of Brandon. I never heard of Mustafa or Brian or Rochelle. I knew Kristen just because she was on Ghost Mind, and I really didn't know her. And of course, you all knew Grant was, and
right.
But he'd been quiet for so many years, laying low. And when we came all together, man, it was like, okay, this, and dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't like we sat there and rehearsed and it was as soon as we flew into Jacksonville, Florida, and we went straight to St. Augustine, and that night we started filming. It was hit the ground running. It was like, here you go, there's your location, here's your equipment, start filming. And
wow,
it was running gun ever since, man. It wasn't like, I'll never forget, man. I just got done, me and Grant had just got done investigating the lighthouse. And I walked out, and our executive producer, this guy named Mike Nichols, was like, I need you to do an OTF. I'm like, what the hell's OTF? I don't know what the fuck that is. OTF. Just stand in front of the camera and talk. But look this way. You got to look at me, not look at the camera. You got to learn what OTF is real quick. Because it was just like... And so I did OTF, which means on the fly. Basically, it's on the fly. You come out of the investigation and they set you down. What happened? Man, it was hit the ground running, dude. And we meshed really quickly. I'll never forget. Like the next day, they all call us into this. We were staying in this hotel in St. Augustine, and they're like, they had a room set up, and actually it was Brandon's room, and they taken all the equipment, these cases of hard cases, like 10 of them, 12 of them sitting in this room, and they're like, come on in here, guys. So all of us went in this room, so go through all these hard cases and figure out what you want to keep and what you don't want to keep. And like we're sitting there, we're going through this stuff. SLS cameras, buy.
Yeah.
Just throwing stuff over our shoulders, man.
Right.
Got it down to like 3 cases, man, after about 4 or 5 hours. And yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. It's crazy, but it was fun.
It sounds like.
Speaking of equipment, what is your favorite piece of go-to that you cannot actually investigate without?
This little guy right here is one of my favorite.
Yes, yeah. Definitely, man.
Data recorder, EDI plus, whatever you want to call it. That's, to me, I explain that as like a carpenter with his hammer. Yeah, you're investigating. You shouldn't be investigating without that.
Amen.
A carpenter wouldn't have a hammer. My favorite piece of equipment, it's like having a second investigator with you, is body cam. Clip it on, turn it on, roll. The sound quality is amazing. The IR is amazing. The one I have is actually waterproof, so if you're out in the rain. Yeah, I love those 2 pieces of equipment. Yeah, a good recorder. I have personally.
Definitely.
The Zoom 6 I carry around with me. I use. Anything Zoom is amazing, man. Yeah, they're an amazing piece of equipment to have. The audio is amazing on them. So yeah, they're my 3 go-tos, to be honest with you. Yeah, and a good static cam, something you can just set down in place if you have to, and you can use your GoPro as well. You can take it off and set it on a shelf or whatever.
Yep. I like the Zoom product as well. I've been using those a lot. I used a lot of Sony, and Olympus had a really good one, but I've been using Zoom as of late, man, and the sound quality is spot on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I really fell in love with Zoom because of the show. I mean, I hadn't used Zoom before then. I was using the Olympus and the Sonys and Panasonics and things like that, and I started using the Zooms. We had like the Zoom ones.
Mm-hmm.
The first generation, and they were amazing, man. The sound quality was awesome on them, and I'm like, oh shit, well, I'm going to invest in one. I went and got a Zoom 6, which it was like $400 or $500 at the time.
Hey, but you get you pay for it.
Yeah,
you really do.
It's like a mobile sound studio. You can do so much with it. It's not just an audio recorder. You can actually record in 5 different rooms at the same time with that piece of equipment, which is really cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yep, the EDI too. I've been using mine now about a year. I saw it actually on Ghost Hunters. Like, that is awesome. So I did some research, ordered it, and man, that's become one of my most favorite pieces of equipment as late.
Yeah.
And especially at this last time using it at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, me and Mustafa were having some interaction on the 3rd floor, and like I can't explain it.
Well, with the EDI, you're getting actual interaction. It's so well shielded, and it's not, it's not made like some of the other pieces of equipment out there. It's not me knocking anything. It's just a sound piece of equipment. It's an all-in-one, and that's the great thing about it. I love it, and it's just our show. Once again, everywhere I go now, when I go to these events, when I'm investigating with a team or something, everybody's got EDIs now. Everybody's got body cams, thanks to what we were doing out there. People really starting to pick up on it. And I tell you what, and there's another thing too, and you're going to see here in the next month or so, probably even before that, we've actually partnered up with us here at Paranormal Warehouse with a company called Ghost Gear, and you're going to see some really cool new, not garage tech equipment coming out. It's made by engineers. And
awesome.
I'm very excited about it, and I can't wait till you guys start seeing some of this stuff, man. It's pretty awesome.
That's what we need, man. That's the thing like I appreciate about the EDI. It's groundbreaking, and you're taking you don't have to carry around anything anymore. You have one little box that has 5 things in one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does. Your temperature increase and decrease, pressure, humidity. It has a geophone on it. It does the EMF. It does everything, man. It's
can't beat it.
Where this used to be 5 pieces of equipment at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Now
it's one.
And then you can record it all just by putting a disc.
The SD.
Yeah.
Yep, I think we have now? We have 2 on the team. No, 3 on the team now for as far as the EDIs, Tim.
Yeah, they're not that expensive, which is nice about them. I mean, I think I paid $190 for or something like that.
Can't beat it.
My body cam was like $150, $160 off of Amazon. Yeah.
That's actually going to be my next purchase. I really want to try the body cam.
It's the best thing I've probably put my money into with equipment ever is the body cam, due to the fact that the audio on it's amazing. You can pick up. I've gotten just as much EVPs and and different kinds of audio on that body cam than I have
Really?
on my recorder. Things that you didn't hear before. You're watching the footage, and all of a sudden you're like, what was that? And you go back and listen to it, and like, oh wow, I caught something then.
That's badass.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I love it. And like I said, the pixel rating on it, I don't know what the pixel rating is on. They're probably all a little bit different depending on the brand you buy and the model, but the pixelation is amazing on them. It's just as good as anything you spend probably $1,000 on.
Oh.
Can't beat that.
No.
Yeah, those cameras can get expensive. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I wouldn't dump that kind of money into it. No.
Come on, guys, in the comments. Drop some questions. We don't bite.
So where you got coming up, Daryl? You said I before I jumped on, I heard you say something about Red Mill or something like that.
Yeah, Red Mill, which is in New Jersey. It's in Clinton, New Jersey. It's an amazing location. We went. Mustafa and I actually investigated there. We did a pay-per-view back in October there, and we didn't know what we were getting into. We got a phone call one day or a text message or something. I can't remember what it was. Hey, guy, can you two come do this pay-per-view event for us? And we're like, oh, whatever. Yeah, okay. And that was like in September. And I was like, this is a little fast to do a pay-per-view. You're gonna have to push it and everything. And man, I tell you what, next thing I know, we were there doing this pay-per-view, and the place was amazing, man. The town, like everybody in the town came out. The mayor came out. Everybody came out. It was like it turned out to be a huge event, and we did about 5 or 6 hour pay-per-view where we actually. And what they do is during Halloween season, they actually have a haunted house there. And all the actors were there hiding and stuff. And they had me and Mustafa walk through the haunted house and the haunted town. They had the whole town set up. And dude, it was cool. We did that for about an hour where people were jumping out at us and stuff. And then we backed out, and then we went back in and we investigated the location, and we got some really cool stuff. Yeah, I can't wait. We're going back there. We'll be back there on the 30th of this month to do a meet and greet in the town. They're doing some kind of festival there, and they asked us to come back. And then we're actually doing an event there July 9th and 10th, a meet and greet and VIPs and tickets and things like that. All going to be probably being sold either started tomorrow or Monday. So that'll be out through Flumery Promotions.
Yeah, feel free to share it in our group. We'll get it out there for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that. So anybody's like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware area, New York, it's close to New York as well. Just come on down, man. It's going to be a great time.
Are you doing the Gettysburg Bash this year or the Dallas Paracon or any of that?
Well, I heard I'm supposed to be at the Gettysburg Bash. So it's up on the flyer, so I guess I'll be there.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd love to get out to the Gettysburg Bash. I know it's in August, I believe. So
yep.
Yeah.
We got a spot that we'd like you to check out with us. Our friends actually own a piece of property out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
There's a Confederate encampment. They find artifacts and everything all the time out there. It's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I love Gettysburg. Like we were talking before we came on the air here. Yeah, it's basically my backyard. It's about 2 hours from me, and that's one of my. It's one of the places I really, got my feet underneath me when I started investigating back in the day, and that's one of those places, man, you never forget, and it's always a go back. It's the one I always go back to, man. It's
definitely
not just the paranormal part, but the history, the people there, that live there now, the great food, and then these little like hole in the wall.
It's home, man. That's the only way I can explain it. It's home away from home. Like, you feel welcome there.
It's still it's still got its historical roots, which are really nice. You don't see there's not a lot of like retail there. It's like little mom and pop shops. And diners and restaurants and things of that nature. That's what I love about it, man. It's just it feels like you kind of walk. It's got the whole 1860s Civil War theme going on, but it's kind of feel like you kind of walk back in Americana in the 1950s kind of setting with the town. It's still very set in that time, which is really nice, man. And it's nice to see that type of atmosphere still going on right now. It's a small town. It's got such a big name, but still a small town. It's a small town feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, we're heading back to Waverly here in a couple of weeks. We're going out to Waverly again this year.
Oh, great! Yeah, Waverly's amazing.
At least one year, every year we go at least once or twice to Waverly. So we got that.
Heck yeah, man! Waverly is an amazing location, man. I love that area. I love that. I love Kentucky for one thing. It's beautiful. But Waverly Hills was just that was another one. That was another one of my favorites, man. It's just being there, and people don't realize, if you've never been to Waverly, you've seen the pictures of it, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a big building. Oh no.
Wait till you get there.
Once you pull up front, you pull through the woods, you go down that long driveway, and all of a sudden you come to this opening, and there's Waverly. I mean,
it's in such a weird location. It's in the middle of a golf course. Like I was pulling up, I was like, am I in the right area? Like, where am I? And I was like, holy shit.
I think there's actually three entrances. The other two are usually closed off, so you have to drive to the golf course side of it. But yeah, dude, and then you go into that one side building they have, and they have like a whole command center there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Flat screen TVs, man. The place it's off the charts, man. It's amazing. I love it.
They just added an actual like bunk area at the end of the body shoot. Like
I heard.
So we're gonna probably check that out while we're there.
Yeah, I think that was in the talks when I was there. Shoot, man, it's been almost 2 years since we filmed there. September will be 2 years. Yeah, and that was in the talks, I believe, back then. But yeah, the place is just immense, man. We were there for a week, and it still wasn't enough time to really, get in there and really dig in, man, like you want to.
Right.
Hell yeah.
We were there for 12 hours, and it literally only felt like we were there for 3 hours. It's such a weird, like, I can't.
It'll tire you out too.
Yes. Oh yeah. I was exhausted.
Yeah. You sleep very well the next day.
Oh yeah. Driving, like, we didn't stay that far away. Driving home, I felt like I was about to crash at the wheel. I was just like, oh my god, this is rough. It does drain you. But Ethan says, it's one of my buddies from Georgia. He says, we should get you into Fort McAllister as well. That is actually, it's an old Confederate Civil War fort. It was dug in, kind of protected the outskirts of Fort Pulaski, and it was sieged. It saw a battle like 7 times. Then Sherman actually came in and took over the fort. Dude, that place.
Yeah.
That is where you take a skeptic. You don't need equipment. It's got everything: residual, intelligent. It's just mind-boggling things.
That's Georgia.
Yep, Richmond Hill, Georgia. It's off the coast, going towards Tybee Island and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, man. I love it in that area, like up in like Savannah and places like that.
Yep, it's very, very close to that. Well, it's kind of further away from Savannah, but it's within that area. It's awesome, man. It's definitely an awesome place to check out.
I'll check it out. Absolutely.
I'll have to get something set up there, man.
Yeah.
I've seen you've been doing a lot of work at Pennhurst. What's Pennhurst like, Daryl?
Oh, Pennhurst is amazing, dude. I can't.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I can't say enough great things about Pennhurst or the people who run it. Jim over there, who's actually in charge of running the whole thing. Amazing location, amazing people who work there. It never lets you down. Once again, it's one of those places you go to. You're going to get something. We just had we started this thing at Paranormal Warehouse where we have our own teams now. And we just started our first team about 2 weeks ago, and they did their first live stream last weekend there. Interstate Paranormal, big shout out to Interstate, thanks guys. And they're part of the Paranormal Warehouse family, but they had some really interesting things happen. That they had one of their team members actually get bit, and they sent me pictures of the bite mark on his arm. Yeah.
Oh well.
And it looked like a small bite mark, like a child, and it looked like it was missing teeth, which is the funny thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, one of the team members actually took the picture to their dentist to have the dentist look at it, and the dentist like, well, it's definitely the bite mark is from probably adolescent, and it looks to be like someone who had malnourished teeth. That's one of the stories out there where some of these people had their teeth pulled. or they
wow,
they didn't even,
that gives me goosebumps.
they didn't even they weren't even given the opportunity to brush their teeth. Some of them, they were just very mistreated. That's why the place actually got shut down back in the 1980s. But yeah, the place is. I mean, they're the people who are there now, who are running, are really trying to restore the location. There's, I forget how many buildings. I'm going to say 15 or 16 buildings on the property. They had to tear some of them down, unfortunately, because they were just too, run down.
Too far gone. Yeah,
they're too far gone. But they still have Mayflower open, and they're opening 2 other locations on the property here to the public, in the next 6 months to a year or so, which is really cool. Yeah, place is amazing, man. It's just one of those, when you pull up to it, you're like, okay, I'm going to Penn. Oh, wow, there's Pennhurst.
Right.
You're like,
Right.
there it is in all its glory. It's big, man.
Have you done any prisons, man? Have you done any prisons, Daryl?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you done Ohio or any West Virginia or any of those?
I've done Moundsville, I've done Mansfield, I've done Eastern State, Fort Delaware.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fort Delaware. Oh man, that's on my bucket list too.
Fort Delaware is dude. Once again, it's one of the places I got grounded in, and got into this field. That's the place where I had my first experience that got me started in paranormal was Fort Delaware. Because I mean, I told this story probably 100 times on these podcasts and live streams. They always ask me how I got started. Well, Fort Delaware, how I got started in the paranormal. I actually was a skeptic, like I'm still am. I'm still very much skeptical, but I actually got invited. This is back in 2005 it was around Halloween. It was a local team that were investigating Fort Delaware, and they were, you pay money to go investigate with them. So my mom somehow got tickets for it. She was asking people to go, and she asked me. I was like, yeah, why not? I'll try it out. I didn't know what a ghost hunter was. And I mean, I watched the show Ghost Hunters a little bit. I saw it, the advertisements for it at the time. So I went, and dude, didn't know what to expect. Then this guy had a piece of equipment. The guy was running it, and he's like, yeah, it was a K2 or whatever at the time. That was a big thing.
Yep, I remember when the K2 dropped, man. That was like the biggest thing, man.
Back then. But he was like, yeah, let's. So he took us down in the in like where they call the dungeons, but it's not. It's actually where they used to keep the prisoners and stuff. And we went down there, and there was like 5 or 6 of us. That was it. It was my mom, my stepsister, and myself, and a couple that we didn't know who they were. And we're standing there. I'm looking down this long corridor, and he's talking. I'm looking over my stepsister's shoulder. I keep seeing something. And lo and behold, there's this man standing there. And all I could see was from the shoulders up, his head to the shoulders. That's it. And he's sitting there staring at me. And he's probably about 20 to 30 feet away. And he's grayish. And I'll never forget, man. He had probably shoulder-length, scraggly hair and a beard that was really disheveled. And I could see debris in his beard, like broken up leaves or something. I don't know what it was in his beard.
Right.
And he just he's there for about a good 7 to 10 seconds, and he just sucked into a ball and just disappeared. And dude, I didn't tell anybody about years. Like, all I knew is that when I left there that night, I'm like, I saw something. I want to figure out what it was, and I'm going to try to recreate this, being a skeptic. Right. I thought people would think I was crazy if I told them. And that's what I did, man. Since I left there, man, I started investigating, doing little local places and learning about it, reading the books, watching the TV shows, whatever, and doing my own thing. That's how I got started, man. Yeah.
That's how you saw something too, when you can actually, give good details, a description of it.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things that's burnt into your brain forever. I'll never forget the first time I saw my first.
Literally, it feels like it was 5 minutes ago I saw it, and that was 16 years ago.
Right. I'm the same way with what I saw. It's just like it's like it just happened. You never forget it.
That's what started me on my journey, man. And, that's where I'm at now. So that's how I got started. Fort Delaware. I met places. I've been back there probably 10 times since, between me doing it and then me and my wife. Because when we started first dating, she started getting into it with me, and that's where we went, man. Now we go over there every chance we got, because it's I don't know what it's doing now, but at that point, you could just go over there you pay like so much money, you go there for the day, and you have the place to yourself. You just go and you're there all day until the ferry leaves because it's the island.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we just go over there for an entire 7 or 8 hours and just investigate. The place is huge, so you don't get bored. You know.
Wow. That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Island too.
It's cool because it's not just the locations, but the ambiance behind it. It's an island. You have to take a boat to get there, and once you get to the island, you really can't see the fort because it's kind of surrounded by trees and stuff. So you go up this long dirt road. Well, there's this big dock you have to walk down. You get a long dirt gravel road that kind of weaves through like the path, and they usually have a tractor or something that takes you. And then all of a sudden you come around the corner and there's this ginormous fort in the middle of an island in the middle of the Delaware Bay, or a Delaware River, I should say. And it's just sitting there. It's like it's frozen in time, man. It's very menacing. And then you have to cross a moat to get into the fort. There's a moat that's, some of the water, and from what the park rangers tell, the water that's from that moat is still the same water that was there back in the 1800s. So it's never been drained or anything. So, and a lot of it's crazy. They use the moat for like their backup septic. So when they would use the bathrooms, and there's actual bathrooms in there, like not like bathrooms we know. It's just a hole in the floor, like a brick wall that you set on. There's a hole in the floor. All that debris would go out into the moat. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a mini Alcatraz.
Yeah, it's huge though, man. It's a huge location. I mean, you could live there if you had enough supplies. It's just immense, and there's there's housing on the property, like inside the fort. You go inside the fort, and there's actually a building inside the fort that's connected to it, where it's like 2 or 3 stories high. I can't remember, where there's actually housing in there where the officers used to stay, and it's all like redone. It's really nice. Yeah.
Sounds cool. We'll have to check that out sometime.
Dude, I'd be down, man. Fort Delaware, definitely.
If you come, man, let me know, because it's in my backyard. It's literally out that window right there, about 4 miles that way.
Let's do it. We'll set some up when you get some free time, man. We'll make the trip. No worries. I can't remember what the name of the place was, but the one that you guys went to had like a church on it, and it was away from everything else. It was like a little village.
Oh, probably Fort Stanton.
That was it.
Yeah, Fort Stanton. That's another one, man. That's where we busted out the MCCD camera first time.
Yes, and you guys caught that person walking in front of the doorway, or
the apparition coming out of the wall.
Yeah. That blew me away more than anything. I was just like,
blew us away. I'll never forget, man. We this camera shows up. Brandon brought it, and he had actually gotten it from a friend of his. And we're like, okay, what is this thing? Like, well, I think we're all a little on the fence. I think Brandon was even on the fence about it because it had never been tested before like that. And one of the theories is, these entities or ghosts are made up of photon events.
Uh-huh.
So, and this is what it does. It captures single photon events. So let's use it. Okay, well, let's try it. So literally the first freaking run, because Mustafa and I were just in that first, let me lay it out for you. Fort Stanton is huge. You only saw a few buildings on the show because that's all we could show.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this hospital on the property, and that's what we caught this apparition in. Well, literally about an hour and a half, 2 hours before that, Mustafa and I were in the building before they used the MCCD, and it's a 2-story. It's an old TB hospital. So we're on the 2nd floor, and this is where we caught on our thermal that. Thermal hit of that apparition or wherever that thing was standing at the end of the hallway.
Uh-huh.
And so literally the hallway below that, right below that, is where they caught the image on the EMCCD camera. And the first run, man, like within 15, 20 minutes of that run is when they captured that, man. And that camera is amazing, man. People don't realize, they think we were getting so many people hitting us up after this, after that, saying, hey, where can I buy a camera? I can't find it on Ghost Stop. I can't find Well, you're not going to find it on Ghost
No, you don't want to know the price tag of that, people.
You're not going to find it. That camera, people don't realize that camera's been actually around for about 30 years now. It's been used by the military, NASA, multiple different science groups use it. for these photon events. That camera, brand new, runs like almost 60 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's you. I think we found a used one online for like 9,500. That's used.
used. You can buy a used car for that.
That's used Mercedes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. From 1995.
I'd love to see that thing in action at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital too, because there's a lot of apparition events.
It's such a simple looking device. It looks like an old, to me, it looks like an old
security camera.
Security camera, yeah, for the 1980s.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when you first
It does.
But it's such. I mean, there's a lot more goes to it. Don't be wrong. You have to hook it up to a monitor and all this other stuff. I mean, it's not something you just carry around. You have to sit it down, hook it up to a monitor. There's a certain lens that has to go on it, like a quartz lens that goes on it. There's a lot of steps to it. It's not just it's insured. So only certain people can use it and touch it. But it's
What's
amazing.
up, Steven?
Huh?
So I was saying hi to Steven.
What's up, Stephen Woodard? Stephen Woodard asks you. He says, "Ask Daryl about the German village down below the church."
Oh, the internment camp. Yeah, there's a Japanese and German internment camp there from World War II, which is actually behind. It's like they're behind that church. There's a hill that goes down, and down there are like the ruins. There's really not a whole lot to investigate. There's maybe 2 or 3 of the houses still left that are actually where you can actually walk into, and they're all like falling down. There was it's where they used to keep these basically POWs, which were American citizens at the time during World War II. But we went to that stage during World War II where we didn't trust anybody.
Nope, started pulling them out.
Everybody was a spy to us. No matter how long they've been in this country, the government thought they were spies, so they stuck them in these internment camps all over the country, not just there. Yep. And that's what I think he's referring to. We filmed out there. I don't think we got anything really out there that I can remember. So, but no, it was very. And the thing is, too, once again on this property, we could have stayed there for weeks and investigated because there's so many buildings. Like I think we only actually our base camp where you saw us talking and getting ready, and the whole thing what I did on the chalkboard where I was talking. That's actually Billy the Kid's prison cell. Yeah.
What? That is awesome.
Yeah, Billy the Kid's prison cell. Cool. Yeah, that place it's one of the first. American military camps of its time during the Indian Wars. So it's right dead in the middle of Apache and Mescalero territory still to this day. And when it was in full operation, it was 1 million acres. Now it's down to I think I don't want to say 50 or 60 acres. Like everything else has been sold off around it. It's just desert. It's all it is, desert and just high plains area. And but people don't realize in the back of that property, you drive down this old road. There's an actual full blown prison back there.
What?
Yeah, it's a full prison back there that has only been probably maybe within the last 4 or 5 years has been abandoned. And you go up to the gates. I actually picked up the phone on the front gate, and it rang inside the building. You hear it ring inside the building. It's still
what?
Yeah, yeah. There's nobody out there. It's just
that's crazy.
Abandoned. It's pretty wild, man. It's that place is amazing. It's literally 50 miles from Roswell.
Where's this at now?
It's at Fort Stanton, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
It's literally 50 miles from Roswell. And apparently the story is, and I don't know how true this is, but I have to believe it. When the Roswell crash occurred, supposedly there was 2 crashes, not just Roswell, but there was one at Fort Stanton as well on the hill behind it. So there's all kinds of activity out there. The main claim out there was not just the paranormal, well, not just ghosts, I should say. The main claim was a shapeshifter. This is why we actually got caught out there. All these people were seeing this shapeshifter.
Is that the thing that was in the church?
Yeah, this is the thing. That's where they mostly seen this thing was around the church, either outside the church or in the church. And there was actually in the hospital where we caught the apparition, there was a Boy Scout troop that actually came in there. Eagle Scout troop that came there with the Scoutmaster, and two of the boys with the Scoutmaster actually got attacked by this thing. This is the story from what we were told, and this was the claims of this this shapeshifter or this whatever it was. Now we never came across anything like that. It was something we investigated, but they really didn't show it on the show. I don't think they really want to approach that angle. So we were capturing so much different stuff out there. We captured so much great evidence of these entities as either residual or intelligent. We're not really sure. I wouldn't believe they were intelligent, to be honest with you, because we made contact with quite a few of them when we were out there, with the capture on camera and things of that nature.
Adam Stallman says, I guess the Winchester brothers weren't totally crazy.
Winchester? I don't. Who are the Winchester brothers?
That's the guys from some show. I can't think. What's that show called, Ricky? I don't know. Some show that on TV where two guys go around investigating and they're brothers. I can't.
Oh.
The name of the show is.
Okay. Would they do it for Stanton or something, or?
No, this is just some random TV show. It's not even an investigation.
Supernatural.
Show. It's just, that's what it is. Supernatural.
Yep.
Supernatural. That's what it is.
Oh, that's the show. Supernatural. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've never watched it. Yeah.
So, have you done much investigating outside of the United States at all?
No, I mean I've not investigated at all. I mean I've investigated I've been to almost all 50 states, but I've never investigated outside the states, and I don't really want to at this point.
Right, I don't blame you for that.
I mean, I might do Canada.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go to Egypt myself. I'd like to go out there and investigate the pyramids or something, out that way.
Yeah. Well, Mustafa's, he's actually been out to Egypt. He's done a lot of stuff over in that area, and Africa, Middle East, places like that. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Awesome.
Let's see. Got any more questions, people?
Does your wife get out with you often when you're home and not out filming and stuff? Does she like to go out and
since
still participate?
Since COVID, not really. She does the events with me before COVID. I think she's been to maybe 2 events since COVID with me, because we had our son, our 8-year-old, 9-year-old now. It's just hard because you couldn't send him anywhere. But I think she went to one filming with me, Epic Haunts filming we did in Virginia back last summer. But that was it. She hasn't really done a whole lot this year. She hasn't done anything this year. I've done a bunch of stuff, but she hasn't now.
Right. Yeah, see, you got your hands full with a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm always seeing you doing something, promoting.
Yeah,
something,
I'm always between Paranormal Warehouse and filming for Epic Haunts and all that stuff, man. It's just been it's great. I love it, man. Believe me, it's a full-time job. It keeps you busy, man, all the time. And now we're taking on. We've got so much new stuff coming up here with Paranormal Warehouse, with different sponsors and different companies we're dealing with. I've got my own beard oil coming out. A company called
I've seen something about that.
Custom Beard Company.
Nice.
They wanted to do something with me, so they basically sent me a bunch of samples, and I got to test them out, and I like the product. And then they started sending me these samples of how you want it to smell and the texture. So I started, going. And it's been something we've been really working on since like January, and now the product is finally done. I'm supposed to get the first one here, and it's in the mail now. And then my direction with it, I want to go. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with them, and the direction I'm probably going to go with my proceeds from all this is going to go to a charity. So whatever I make off of it, it's not going in my pocket. It's all.
That's awesome, man.
I'm going to donate it to it. I'm going to figure out what charity I want to do, and I think I'm going to do something where everything gets funneled right to them, and kind of give back. yeah, I've been very fortunate to be where I'm at, and I just want to give back something. I think it's something good to do, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's important. Sure.
Have you ever had a chance to check out Old South Pittsburgh Hospital?
I have not. I actually was invited to go there about a year or so ago, and I just couldn't do it because of filming.
Right.
I know Brian, Rochelle, and Mustafa were just there not long ago, about a month ago, and they, I was just with Mustafa the weekend after that. We were in Texas, and he was telling me about how great of time he had there and everything. I would love to get. I'm supposed to do Smoky Mountain, or is it called Smoky Mountain?
Brushy Mountain.
Brushy Mountain. The penitentiary.
That's where we want to go as well. That's on our bucket list as well. Yeah, if you ever get down that way, let me know, man. I can get something set up for Old South.
Okay, yeah. I'm supposed to do Brushy Mountain with one of the guys from Tennessee Race Chasers.
Nice.
I know that's been in the works for a few months now, so see what happens.
That'll be a cool one, man. The location of that place is just insane. Just out in the middle of the mountains, like in a.
I've seen the pictures of it. It's like on
crazy.
The side of the mountain almost. It's almost like a valley. It looks pretty wild, man. Yeah, I would love to get there. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. That and Old South Pittsburgh. Yeah. Great thing.
Well, Ronnie's done with the building, man. He's literally I went back in 2017, back when it was just falling apart. I mean, geriatrics was literally, you could hear it falling during the middle of the night. Black mold and everything. Now, I mean, they've literally taken this hospital and trying to restore it back to what it was, and it's just, it's fantastic.
Nice.
It's a must check out place.
I love to hear that, man. I'd say it's like the same thing with the guys at Penhurst. That's exactly what they're doing. They're just trying.
That's what we need, man. We need people to take care of these buildings and do what they can to bring them up. And
there's some people out there doing that, which is really good. If they can afford
good to see,
buy these places or have these people take them over and try to restore them and get them back to their glory, man, and keep them, for the next generation and the following generation.
Right.
That's what you want.
If you compare it to back like when Ghost Hunters first started back, on sci-fi and stuff, and that period of time, getting places to investigate like we have now wasn't heard of.
Yeah.
Now we have places we can rent out at night, and it's so cool to see.
It started a whole business, man. It started a whole different genre, and I tell you, it's just getting bigger by the day, man. And for a while there, I was saying I want to say around 2012, 13, 14, it kind of leveled out and died down, and then it picked back up and it started exploding again, and now it's just snowball effect. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's exciting. As long as you see people using the right equipment and stuff and doing things right, man, that's a good
right.
thing. Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is preserving our history, man, too. That's the thing I love about these old locations. And when people do this, man, it touches my heart. It's like, because there's people there.
Places, you'd be driving down the road and you'll see some old historical place getting tore down and they're putting some condos up or something. You're like, oh my God, it just breaks your heart. It's just like, you just don't know what you're doing, guys. It's horrible.
Right. What about the people left behind?
I was actually in Ohio. Daryl, I was in Ohio last weekend with my family, and one of the people that lived out there in Ohio was telling us about this old ammunition factory from the World War I time frame. It was called Peter's Cartridge Factory.
Yeah.
And, it's got all the haunted stuff going on there. Many explosions killed people falling, having accidents in the melt pots. But it's been closed down, I think, since the 80s, and they turned it into the national, whatever, landmark or whatever. And so we went there, we checked it out, and they actually turned part of this building. I mean, it all still looks like a factory on the outside, on the exterior, but on the interior, at the back base of the factory, they turned it into a big old brewery.
Nice.
And in another area, they turned it into apartments. But then the rest of it is still the factory. They still got the big smokestack from the original factory, the big clock tower.
That's cool.
I mean, it's phenomenal, that they could have just tore the whole place. Yes, but I mean, it was just so cool to see something like that,
Yeah.
Because a lot of these old places that are getting torn down, it was nice to see them redo something with that property and leave bits and pieces of the history there with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like outside in the different areas in the yard and area, they had like big old pieces of machines and gears and stuff as lawn art, you know, from the factory, you know. So it was really neat, man.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff you love to see, where they can take a piece of that, you know, history and just build to it, you know, and just refurbish it and make it, you know, keep the history part of it, but make it more modernized, but keep it, you know, and then it's there for the next generation, and so on and so on. You know, don't tear it down, you know.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you ever see yourself maybe finding an interest to buy your own haunted property? Do you ever think you'd have
we've been talking about it over at Paranormal Warehouse. Something we probably in the future, if things, you know, go our way, is investing in some of these properties. You know, if you get them cheap enough, definitely, you get the right people to run them. That's the big thing too. Yeah, there's a lot of volunteer work and just having people who are in love with the field, in love with the history of a location, where you can trust them to do the right things. Because you can't be at all of them, of course, but that's definitely a goal of mine. Like it's, we were talking before, Gettysburg. I would love, that's one of my dreams, is to retire and, you know, buy a bed and breakfast in Gettysburg.
Right.
You know, for the rest of my life. Yeah, that'd be the ideal thing, man. You know, you got this piece of history, you know, it's got the whole allure about it, and you're in one of the most amazing places in this country, you know, as far as history goes. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that would be amazing, just to be able to wake up in Gettysburg, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful, beautiful place.
Yeah.
So I got a question. What, and all the time that you've been investigating, both on the show and off the show, what has been your most intense moment?
Most intense moment. I was doing an investigation in Kentucky called a place called the Anderson Hotel. Now, I've had some crazy experiences, but this is an experience I still can't wrap my head around at this point in my life, and this has been almost 6 or 7 years ago now. I was picked up and thrown about 5 or 6 feet across the room.
Holy crap!
And I'm not sitting here saying it's paranormal. I'm not saying it's not paranormal. I don't know what it was. I just know
it's unexplainable. You just don't know.
Yeah, and all I remember was I could hear something charging me from the left, like these heavy footsteps. Boom, boom, boom. I look to my left, and then from my peripheral vision on my right, I see this flash. And I didn't feel hands. I didn't feel anything. I just felt like this rush of energy. And next thing I know, I'm literally about 5 or 6 feet from where I was sitting, and the chair I was sitting on was underneath me, but it was totally smashed. I mean,
holy crap!
I'm 220 pounds. I just took this chair out, and it just was gone. It was just flat on the ground. And I just remember getting up, and one of the guys I was with, come running in the room, wondering what the bang was, and him helping me up, and us like just like we're out of here. And we just grabbed our stuff and got out the building. And I remember, I just remember saying, we have to go back. We have to go back.
Yeah.
We did about 2 months later. We actually went back to Kentucky, went back to the location, didn't have a damn thing happen all night. No.
Isn't it crazy? It's that one circumstance, and you can't. I had something similar recently happen to me at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Tim happened to be at the time we were sitting there, but getting rushed, it was the same thing. But this made me go into fight or flight like I've never experienced ever. Like, I didn't tell myself run out of fear. I just literally got up and covered like 75 feet in 3 strides.
Yeah.
And Tim's just sitting crisscross applesauce on the cot at the ER. He's like, Ricky, what the fuck happened?
What's going on? What happened?
I'm just sitting here, my heart's racing. I'm like, holy shit, you didn't hear that? No, we went back on audio. You didn't hear what I heard. What I originally heard was somebody coming towards me, like rushing me and clearing their throat almost like that.
Yeah.
I just gone. But it's so funny going back and listening to the audio, because you're hearing all, like, my phone comes out of my pocket. It was in my pocket, smashes the ground. All my equipment just goes. You just hear me yell.
Yeah.
But
that was me at Halsman's hotel with when we were up there in Alaska. I mean, the same thing. I was standing in a hallway, and the staff was kind of standing in the doorway to my right.
Like that thing that kept coming at you.
Yeah.
In the hall.
What I saw, I completely forgot I had the body cam on. What I saw was at the very end of the hallway, I saw this dark mass coming down the hallway, and you could hear it. Boom! Everybody heard it. The camera op heard it. Staff heard it. Our producer and audio person 2 stories below us heard it. You can hear this boom, 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 boom.
Holy crap!
I see this mass coming at me. I don't know if it's a person, an animal, what it was. We're in Alaska. I just jumped back into that doorway. I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of the way. I don't know what this is. And I'm just knock Mustafa down, getting through the doorway. And then I'm like, I got my wits about me. I'm like, all right, I'm going back out there. So I go back out there. And when I went back out there is when I caught on the body cam it coming out twice. It came out, it literally, the first time it came out, I'm standing on the corner. I'm like, yeah, you got me. Come on out. And it came out. It was literally, I couldn't see it with my own eyes. It was standing this far from me, about a foot away from my face, just standing there.
Oh,
wow.
It darted back in. And then about 5 or 6 feet down, it came back out again and was just standing there for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 seconds. And then ran back real quick.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. When I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh shit, I got my body cam on. I'm hoping we caught that. I hope these guys don't think I'm crazy, you know? And I didn't realize they all could hear it. They just didn't see it like I did. So when we got back to the hotel that night, I remember getting the laptop out, throwing my body cam footage on there. I'm like, dude, I'm just sitting here waiting and waiting. I fast forward to that spot. I'm like, oh no, we didn't. And like, I didn't see it. I couldn't see what I saw. I'm like, oh man, no way. Then I was like, hold on, let me just keep watching. And I thank God I kept watching. I go back in the hallway and that's when I saw it. Boom. And then boom, come out again. I'm like, hell yeah. I was like,
at least you caught something, you know.
I was sitting here calling Mustafa, trying to get a hold of him. Like, we have no reception up there. Like, he's in another room, like down the hallway. I couldn't get a hold of him. He finally answers. What? I was like, get to my room now, dude. So he comes running in there and he turns his cell phone on and he's videotaping the whole thing. And the reaction you saw on the show where, you know, he's sitting there watching, that's first time reaction, and me smacking on it back, that was real in the moment. There was no bullshit.
Oh
yeah.
Like, that's what I tell a lot of people, like, you can never fully prepare for something like that. You know, your reaction for it just hits you. I don't care how long you've been in the field. No. You know, there's times where you do get startled. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, dude, I've definitely been jump scared and startled many, many, many times, but I always go back. Like, I actually went back in there a couple hours later and did the solo run by myself. There was nobody in that building.
Nope.
That was me. The only people who were out in that building was a producer and an audio person sitting in the car out front. They wouldn't go back in. So they're sitting in the car.
You got to, man. You got to confront it, you know? Yeah. And that's what I'm getting ready to do at Old South. I got to get back to it.
That was like the longest walk of my life, going back up to the 3rd floor.
Oh, I bet after something like that.
Dude,
I remember that episode.
Veering in like the stairs, because it's kind of like a maze of stairs in that building. Yeah, so there's been parts of the building added on over the years. You're like, oh my God. And like, you're just like, why am I doing this? And like, you're like, okay, I got to do this. And you get in there and you're finally up there and you're like, okay, let's do this. And then you could hear like walking and bangs and stuff while I'm up there. And dude, I was up there for a good half hour, maybe 40 minutes or so. And yeah, dude, it was crazy. It was like,
yeah, it's hard to do that, man. Like, it'd be funny to see somebody put a heart monitor on people when you do that, because it's just your emotions are just up and down. It's just like,
oh yeah,
nuts.
Yeah, dude. I had a heart monitor on my suit. It had been a heart attack level.
Yeah, right.
I tell you what, man, it was. I'm not gonna lie, man. It was a little worrisome being up there by yourself, because, dude, it's a long way down. If you were running, it would literally take you about 2 minutes to get out the door. That's how big that was.
Damn. Sounds like your kind of place, T-Dog. He likes to chain himself down. I mean, he does. We chain him down, put a blindfold over him. He'll sit 30 minutes by himself. And I think the craziest thing you got. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I don't.
Randolph County
you know,
Infirmary was the best one he's ever done, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not out there, being disrespectful or nothing like that. It's just I'm not sensitive in any kind of way. I ain't got no senses. I don't feel things. So that's kind of my thing that I do to try to get some interaction with the spirits. I blind myself. I make myself somewhat vulnerable to them to try to get interaction, and then I just relate with them with the location or whatever the claims may be there. So that's just something that I do at locations. But
it's not
gotten
for
some
everybody,
decent results.
I love doing solo runs. I just love to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love it. Yeah, do a solo run. I mean, yeah, it's great going in with your buddies and investigating. But I like going in there because it's like it's just you. It's mano a mano. It's just you with whatever is there, if there's anything there at all, and you confront your fears, man. And it's one of the most gratifying.
Makes me a better investigator.
Yeah, it's one of the most gratifying things you can do on these investigations, in my opinion. Like I just you have to watch the second part of Penhurst, the which just came out yesterday on Epic Haunts on Paranormal Warehouse, the YouTube page. We did solo runs. We all did, like, it was myself, Mike Diamond, who's my partner at Paranormal Warehouse, one of my partners, and the other Mike from Wizard World, who was with us, who was our guest, and we all did solo runs. So we sent Mike, the one Mike, down in the tunnels, and then Mike Diamond went down in the basement of Mayflower, and I went to the third floor of Mayflower. And dude, I was up on the third floor of Mayflower, and I was there for about 15, 20 minutes, and I had to get the hell out of there because you could hear walking, like you could hear it loud as day on the audio, walking above me. The thing is, the only thing above me is an attic. And you could hear it, boom. It was following the hallway I was in. Like everywhere I went, it went. And then you could hear it coming. There's a set of a ladder, like a ladder and a closet that goes up there. And the opening's probably only like this big. And
like you could hear access or something?
You could, could hear something walking, coming down the ladder. I'm out.
Holy shit.
I'm out.
Especially when you hear it coming down the ladder, man. You can't see it.
I'm like, I was like, this has got to be an animal. This has got to be an animal walking above me. And then, but when you go back and listen to an audio, you could hear these loud footsteps, man. It's not me. I'm standing still. I'm like, what? I'm like somebody's got to be effing with me. But it's like, you're going to have to be 120 pounds and as thin as a rail just to get up that freaking, that opening, because it's literally that wide. And I'm like, and the more I think about it, I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, it freaked me out, man. At first I thought, raccoon, but then it was like, you could hear like,
they have more of a skittery kind of running,
this is like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, what the F? And then you could hear it coming down that ladder. I was like, dude, they didn't show it on the footage, or editor didn't put it in there. But I run past this one door. I have a body cam on. I have a static cam sitting on the floor. You can see me coming down the hallway, and I'm kicking doors shut. As I'm going by, like, you're not coming out of this room, dude.
Nope.
And I just grabbed the static cam. I had my body cam on, and I just rolled. I went down the steps down to base camp where everybody was. I'm like, dude, I'm not going back up there. I don't know what the hell that was, but if it was an animal, I'm not getting bit. If it was
right,
it didn't want me up there because he was pissed off, and it was making a lot of noise.
That's Ethan. Tim. Yeah.
But no, man, it sounds like, man, you've been to some fascinating places, Daryl, man. I envy you, brother. I mean, some of the places you've gotten to travel to and check out, man, that's like, a dream come true, brother. I mean, just, whether you're doing it for work or passion or both, I mean, just all the locations you've been to, man. It's amazing, brother.
It's definitely both. It's definitely a job. Don't get me wrong. Everybody thinks it's glitz and glamour. Well, it's not. It's probably 99% work. It's hard work. And you got that 1% of the glitz and glamour of it, when people are blowing you up because of it. But no, man, I wouldn't change it for anything. It's the best job in the world, in my opinion.
Yes, great.
It's always good when you know you can wake up and enjoy what you do, and it's something you're passionate about. You know, it's not like your typical 9 to 5 grind. It's you know, you have your ups and downs, but they're more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's rough. Don't get me wrong. You spend a lot of time away from your family, especially when you're a show. You know, there's times when ghost hunters we're away for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. You know, you're just on the road, man. You're the only contact you have with your family is Zoom or Skype, and that's it. And then all you want to do is you just want to get home. You're forgetting how great of a job you have. At the same time, you're like, you just want to get home to your family. You want to sleep in your own bed, sit on your own couch and watch TV. And that's all you did usually. When you
not eat fast food or something like that, you know.
You come home for a week or two, and all you do is you just freaking just zone out on the couch watching Netflix.
Take advantage of it, man.
It's decompressing, man. It's like,
of course.
I don't have to, and all of a sudden, then the emails start coming in. Oh, we need you to do this. We need you to do that. So you're like, yeah, so it's
traveling alone is fatiguing, like itself by itself.
That's the worst part, man. It's the traveling, the flights, sitting in airports, jumping, hoping you don't miss your connecting flight. That's the worst, man. Especially if you got like a really tight connecting flight where you're flying into, say, Chicago or wherever, and you're Atlanta, especially Atlanta, Chicago. God, the worst 2 airports in the world.
Yes.
You're flying in, and like Atlanta's so damn big. If your gate, like say you got like 45 minutes to your next flight takes off, and your flight's off, there's never a damn flight on time anyway. And you land and you got like 20 minutes to get to your next flight, and that flight's all the way on the other side of the freaking the airport. Dude, Atlanta airport is freaking.
Yeah, you're running through the airport. Yeah.
Get you a little moped.
The first time I went to Atlanta, I walked it like an idiot instead of jumping on the tram. Where it takes you 5 minutes, it takes you an hour to walk Atlanta airport. But that's the worst, man. All the flying, man. Oh, it wears you out. It burns you out.
I bet.
Yeah.
Amanda Comer asked, how long do you spend on average at each location filming?
The least amount of times a week, which is about 6 days. Most amount of time we've been on location is about 15 days. Just over 2 weeks.
That's a grind. That filming thing. Take after take after take after take.
The actual investigations, man, it's just there's so many of them. Like you only see a little small part of it. We literally, like, you see us investigating. Okay, you see us 10 or 15 minutes on the show. But we've probably investigated for 8 or 9 times for an hour or 2 at a time at each night. So you do the math. I mean, you investigate 8 times in one night, 7 times in one night. You're talking almost 12 hours of investigating. And that's in one night. That's just for one team. And then you have all the interviews and things of that nature, and OTFs and all this other stuff that comes into play. The driving scenes, all that stuff, man, dude. It's very time consuming. It takes days. Yeah, you need a week. Yeah.
All right. So what do you like to do outside the paranormal, bro? What are your other hobbies? Any other hobbies or interests?
My religion is working out. I mean, I love to work out. Spend time with the family. Hanging out, watching TV, things of that nature. Besides the paranormal just takes up. I mean, the paranormal world, let's just say, takes up a lot of my time anymore. Yes. Especially in the last 3 years, it's just like it's a full-time job. But spending time with the family is the big thing, man. Family and friends when you can. Most of my friends are, in the paranormal field anyway. So, yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Amanda asks, do you ever feel like your favorite part gets cut out of the show?
We always bitch about that. Yeah. Like you're always waiting for like this great investigation you had, and all of a sudden it's not in the episode. You're like, are you effing kidding me? I've had that happen so many times.
That's got to be frustrating, man. Especially if you have like legit caught some outstanding evidence and it doesn't make it. It's like, and then something else, like maybe just like a random sigh versus a full sentence comes through on EVP. That Psy makes it. It's like,
I think one of the craziest things that ever, one of the things that probably pissed me off the most was we were investigating this place in Ohio called the Mohican Castle. And we all had our experiences there, and we all love and hate that episode for certain reasons. Brandon and Mustafa had their reasons because a lot of their stuff got cut out. I actually stayed in this cabin called Cabin 13. And the cabin was actually separated from the rest of the property. It's like out in the woods, probably about, I don't know, quarter to half a mile away from the rest of everybody else is staying up in the castle. I'm staying in this freaking haunted freaking cabin in the middle of the woods. It looked like the cabin from The Evil Dead. And I'm out there for 5 days. I have no cell reception. I have the walkie-talkie barely works. We're up on this mountain in the middle of Ohio. And I'm out there, and the reports of this cat, here's long story short, when I first get there, I'm like Kristen and I were like one of the last 2 people to get there. So everybody else got the really good rooms. So we walk in, it's pouring down rain. They're like, I say, we're here from Ghost Hunters for filming. She said, oh yeah, we're waiting for you. Daryl and Kristen. Like, yeah. So I said, I need my room. So she's like, well, we have this room and this room left. And it was like room 10 and room 13, cabin 13 and cabin 11 or something like that. And I was like, I'll take cabin 13. I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, where is it? Oh, I got to drive you to it. And like, Kristen's like, where's my room? Well, Kristen, yours is right out there to the left. Walk that little. I said, you got to drive me to mine? What do you mean you got to drive me to it? And like, she said, yeah, I'll drive you to it. Don't worry. I'm in that car right there. And so I got all my luggage. I'm like, I walk out to her car. It's pouring down rain. I jump in. She's like, okay, let's go. So we drive, and we're driving and driving and driving. And we drive down this trail. I'm like, and we pull up to this cabin. I'm like, are you effing kidding me? Are you serious? And she's like, okay. And I get out of the car I bring her my luggage, and she throws the keys to me. She's like, we don't go in there. I'm like, what do you mean you don't go in there?
Oh, lovely.
Like, we have to clean the place. Literally 3 of us come down and clean it together.
Oh,
I'm like, we will not be in there by ourselves. I'm like, oh, geez. All right, whatever. And I'm like, whatever. If I go in the cabin, I get in there, and this is little cabin, man. I mean, it's nice inside, don't get me wrong. And so I'm in there, man, and like nothing's happening, and I can't get a hold of anybody. Like the producers are looking for me. I'm like, where the fuck is Daryl? And then finally somebody had to tell him he's in cabin 13. They're like, where the fuck is that? And we had to go shoot.
It sounds like a horror movie title.
Well, yeah, we had to go
cabin 13.
And like I had no cell reception. They couldn't get a hold of me. Like they're like, he's MIA. What happened to him? Well, yeah, you're supposed to be watching him. Like, I'm like a child or something. And when they finally find me in cabin 13, and like guys, I can't be down here without a vehicle. You're going to have to give me a vehicle. So they give me one of the SUVs. So I have that all week. But long story short, by the second day, we get them filming that night. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. I walk into the cabin, and we set cameras up in the cabin. We set one up in my bedroom and one up in like this little dining room area that had like a fireplace, and it's kind of like shooting the whole room. So you see me walk in, shut the door. I'm like, we're beat, man. We've been filming all night. All I want to do is crash. The sun's starting to come up. I think it was like June. And I'm starting to get undressed, and all of a sudden you hear this little girl go, hello. Loud as day, dude.
What the hell?
All right. And then you see me walk out of the room. I'm standing there like, hello? And like this little girl is talking, and audible as day. There's no one in the and they didn't use it, dude. They didn't use
what? Bro, oh my god, I would have been livid, dude. Like,
it was so clear.
How do you not put that in there? Oh my god.
I put so much effort into staying in that cottage because, dude, I could not sleep. Literally, you would hear bangs, you would hear walking, you would hear everything in that damn thing. And the third night, I actually had to sleep in my SUV just to get some sleep.
That's crazy. That active? Holy shit.
It was. Well, one thing, EMF in the cottage was really high for whatever reasons, because of the power lines or whatever. So that, messes with your psyche anyway. But
But that's fuel.
You're actually capturing stuff in that. They came in, I think it was Brandon and Mustafa came in and investigated the one night when I wasn't in there for the show, and they caught EVPs left and right from this little girl.
Oh my God.
So by the fourth night when we were starting to wrap, and so we got done early, I went in there. Dude, I turned everything on in the cottage so I could sleep. I turned the TV up as loud as I could get it. Everything. I turned every light on it just so I could sleep, man. So I wouldn't hear what was going on around me. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I was so happy. I literally probably slept 5 or 6 hours that week. I was freaking.
That's rough, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was.
Talk about running on fumes.
I was so happy to get out of there, man. At the same time, I was so pissed when they didn't use it, man.
Yeah, you went through all that too on top of it.
I would love to go back there. That place is amazing.
Now, have you guys ever filmed at a location and been there for a week and not get any evidence at all? Yeah. Or do you typically get?
Yeah, there's actually an episode that you'll never see. Yeah, that we shot in Alabama. For that reason, and for reasons that apparently, from what we understand, that after we left there was some hoaxing or something going on that we weren't aware of. Maybe some lying about evidence that from the people who own the property. We filmed an entire week in Alabama, man. 90-some degree weather, sweating our asses off.
It's humid as hell. I'm from the South, man. Yeah,
you'll never see that episode. Yeah.
That's messed up. Yeah, I hate when people have to falsify the evidence and stuff too. That's just that's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah,
I was just curious. There's a lot of factors.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors in it that that the reason they didn't show it. I don't think it was just that, but that's what we were told. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious because we go to some places over and over again that are supposed to be, notoriously haunted.
Yeah.
Come home empty-handed. So I was
zip nada.
Since you spend more time on these locations, I figured that you probably have some of the same results here and there.
Oh yeah, I've had that on and off the show. Yeah.
Right. Good to know that we're not the only ones that go into places come up empty-handed sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
and I mean, we've been to some places that are rumored the demon house or stuff like that are just the fourth most terrifying place in the United States of America, and absolutely nothing happens. The only thing terrifying about the place is the stories.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could take any place and make it haunted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can take any house, any building in the country, and put a story behind it, whether it be true or false, and make it the most haunted location ever most haunted location ever happened in the United States of America, and people will buy into it.
Yeah, of course. And you see a lot of that these days. Yeah, you see a lot of
people trying to make money off of a story.
Yeah, people will come spend good money to investigate, like teams and there, all you need is one TV show to come there.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on Travel Channel or Discovery Plus or whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
It'll get a good 2 or 3 year run, and then the next place will pop up, and the next place will go on. So I've seen it.
Places are just popping up like wildfire now. It's just like, oh, have you ever been to here? Where's that? I've never even heard of that. Oh, this and this and this, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's funny to watch, but I mean, some of the places are legit, and some of them are just,
Yeah.
So, what is more your favorite kind of locations? You like hospitals? You like asylums? I
like anything that's never been done before. In my opinion, I mean, I'm like anybody else. I kind of lean toward the asylums and places like that. These big, huge historical places with a ton of history. But I think the ones I get the most excited about are the places that I know nothing about, or they have a great backstory and they've never been investigated before. And people are having all kinds of experiences there, like homeowners or business owners, and you have more than one person who had these experiences. And you get to go and investigate this location, especially if you're the first one ever to get to do it. And I've had that I've had the luck to actually investigate some of those kinds of places over the last several years, where you get to go to a place that's never been investigated before, especially never been on TV before, and then walk away with some amazing evidence. That's a win-win, in my opinion.
Definitely.
What was that cave that you guys investigated? How'd that turn out?
Oh, the Sterling Mine?
Yeah, mine cave, whatever it was. What was it like investigating something like that?
That was an event I did in upstate New Jersey, right real close to New York line. It's an old silver mine.
Okay.
And there's a really bad echo.
Yeah, it's really bad echo. Holy cow. Your phone, T-Dog.
No, it's someone tried to call me and I had to swipe it on them. So.
All right.
Go ahead and continue talking.
But anyway, it's this mine up in it's old silver mine up in upstate New Jersey, and I did an event there back in November, and place was amazing. It's huge. It's like 24 levels.
Holy smokes.
Well, the bottom 23 levels are flooded, and there's only one level you can do, but even that level is like literally crawling and walking. Had so many great experiences just there. I can't wait to go back.
Well, yeah, it seemed like a pretty. I remember seeing it, but I just wondered. I've explored some caves, but I've never done any investigating in caves. So I was just wondering how that would turn out, and especially with the audio being a place like that, I can imagine the audio being pretty difficult to listen to. The evidence review with audio. I imagine with the
I didn't get a chance to do like evidence review or anything. So it was just an event where people paid to come investigate with me, and I would take them through the mine and investigate with them. So, but we had some really great personal experiences there. Yeah.
Awesome.
That makes it worth it then in the end. Because like the events, sometimes it's hard, especially for audio. Because you have all people that are just this is their first time they've ever investigated all sorts of contamination. But to me, that's why I like the personal experiences at the events more.
The events are great for people. They get to come out and hang out with from the shows and stuff, and you get to spend some time with them and maybe learn some things from them, and they can learn from you. A lot of times, a lot of these, usually at my events, there's usually a good handful of people who've never investigated before.
Yep.
Which is really cool because you get to kind of show them the right way of doing it off the bat,
bringing them into the field.
Yeah, and a lot of times, man, it's been great. It's great to watch these guys who are complete skeptics, especially if you get a really good location, and have them, rethinking things when they leave there that night. I've had some people come in. I've had people come to my events. Some of the younger guys who come in there all bullheaded, like, "Oh, my girlfriend drugged me here because she loves your show or she loves you or whatever," and like, this is all bullshit, and they leave there like, okay, man,
I'm a believer now.
What the heck was that? Yeah, I love seeing that, man.
It's the best.
Yeah, it is the best. We had a kid. I did an event in Oklahoma back last October. I'll never forget it. It was at this location in Oklahoma. I can't remember the top of my head the name of it. I'll remember. But anyway, this kid all night, he's just, you could tell he just didn't want to be there. His girlfriend drug him there. So I was like, and I didn't get a chance to investigate with him. Like, it was kind of like they came in toward the end, and so the girl, the lady who's running the event, like, hey, I know you got to go, but there's a couple people who haven't got a chance to investigate. Because I literally had to drive back to Dallas and catch a flight like at 8 a.m. I'm already like 3.5, 4 hours into Oklahoma. I have to drive all the way back to Dallas. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I take them into this one wing that we hadn't investigated. And and literally by the end of the investigation, we're probably in there for a good 45 minutes to an hour. He had gotten scratched. We've had doors getting slammed right in front of us. Like,
holy smokes,
getting slammed. Dude, he walked out. He was shook. He was. I've never seen somebody in an investigation that shook before. I tell you, the things that were happening on that side of the it was an asylum. They were pretty intense for somebody even like me who's been doing this for a long time. Like, what? I'm like, are you serious? This can't be real happening right now.
Right.
I'm getting doors slamming. I'm getting people getting dude. He got scratched bad. I mean, like, and I'm not a big person on these people getting scratched and all that stuff. I'm like, whatever. He literally he had blood drawn.
That's crazy.
He was
actually broke skin. Ooh.
And then whatever he was kind of being a jerk while he was in there. So whatever was there was kind of trying to prove a point to him. You know, he was like, oh, I don't believe it. He actually said it a couple times. I don't believe you're here and all this other stuff out loud. I'm like,
but he does now.
He does now. He walked out of there. He's like, he literally thanked me, and I was like, dude, I got to roll. But he's like, man, I never believed in this stuff until I did this. I'm like, you believe now, don't you?
Yeah. It's like the opening to Ghost Adventures. I never believed in ghosts until I came face to face with one.
Came face to face with something, man. It only messed with him, and literally there was like 10 people with us, and that it only messed with him. It was pretty. He's like,
door slamming is startling as hell. I don't care who it is. That's gonna startle the shit out of you when it happens.
Yeah, we had 2 doors slammed, man. It was pretty crazy. And we asked for it. I asked straight up. I said, hey, look, if you're here, because we were getting ready to leave. We didn't have anything happen. I said, all right, we're leaving. We're out of here. You can't do anything. And no, I swear to God, I was the last one walking out the room. Boom!
Holy
shit. I was like, all right, come on back in.
Man. That would have been badass.
And we came back in and we shut the door behind us and we're standing there like everybody's like freaking out, like shaking. I'm like, if you can do that again, because I don't believe you just did that. And it was quiet for about a minute. All of a sudden, boom! Another door.
That's awesome.
It was
intelligence.
It was pretty compelling, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, I got to go back to this place.
That's the stuff we live for, man.
Yeah. Broken Bow. That's the name of it. Broken Bow Asylum.
Broken Bow Asylum. I've heard about that. So that was at Broken Bow. Okay.
Yeah, Broken Bow Asylum.
It makes me want to go check it out now.
Don't get me wrong. It's not huge like most asylums you think of. It's only one story. It's like 3 wings. But I tell you what, man.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. I was like, this was an asylum?
Yeah, it's only probably like 75 or 80 years old. It's not like a super old place. But it was an asylum and it turned into like a drug rehab. And I think that's what it was the last time it was open.
Senior living too, wasn't it? At one point?
I think it's been closed for maybe like 10 years now. And I think dude, the place was it was active as hell, man. It was like intelligent activity. Like you would ask to knock on the wall 5 times, it would knock on the wall 5 times.
I gotta go check this place out, man. That sounds awesome.
There was a room full of typewriters in this one room. And I remember all sitting in the hallway and we're like, I was like, if you can let us know you're here, go start typing on those typewriters. You can hear the typewriters typing. I'm like, this can't. I'm like,
what?
I'm actually looking around like somebody is freaking effing with us. I was like, there's no way. And then like you get the knocks on the wall, and like I'm looking at everybody's. I got a flashlight looking at everybody's hands to make sure they're not. Intelligent knocks back, and they're all like this, putting their hands up, like, all right, there's somebody hiding in here. There's someone hiding in this group. There's no way. I'm looking everywhere and I can't find anybody. I'm like, we're getting intelligent. Like I said, well, if you can knock on the ceiling. It knocked on the damn ceiling.
What the hell?
And I'm like, this can't be real. And then I've known the lady who runs it for several years, Ashley Storm, and it was legit, man. I didn't know. I thought I was going out there for an event, just a meet and greet, and I was going to go to this place that wasn't active. And the place was super active. I'm going back there to film. I already told her. I said, I'm going back there to film.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Sounds like a future road trip for me, man.
Oh, yeah. It's out there, man. It's about 3.5 hours outside of Dallas. You gotta drive it, man. It's just nothing but back roads. But once you get there, man, it's this little town out in the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. About 45 minutes to an hour across the Texas line.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Did you ever get anything set up? I was down at in Ohio not that long ago, about a month ago, at the old Licking County Jail.
Lincoln
And
County.
there was a guy. Yeah, he said that you were trying to get set up to do some filming there. Did you get anything set up? Well, the guy that was working that night anyway. He said that you were trying to get.
I think that's in the wings. So I've been approached about it a couple times, Lincoln County Jail. So
yeah, that was a pretty interesting place, man. It was definitely different, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard good things. I've never been there. I've heard good things about it, though. I mean, I've never had a bad experience in Ohio, man. I tell you, I've had some great investigations in Ohio.
Yeah, Madison Seminary too was pretty crazy for us, audio wise, dude. Screaming we caught on a stationary recorder. Nobody was there.
Yeah.
That to me, that was the craziest evidence we caught that year.
Yeah, Madison Seminary, the House of Wills, Sedamsville in Cincinnati, Mansfield, the Mohican Castle. I've done a lot of investigating in Ohio, man. I've never walked away, without evidence, man. Amazing.
That's awesome
stuff. Yeah.
Well, you ever been down to Bobby Mackey's?
Yeah, I've been to Bobby Mackey's. Yeah. Yeah, that's straight. I mean, if you're in Cincinnati, you might as well just go across the Kentucky line.
Right across the river.
Right.
I've been from it. Yeah. I was filming in Cincinnati. Actually, we were doing a thing for Amazon. This is about 6 or 7 years ago at Sedamsville, which is in Cincinnati. And the couple of guys I was with, like, hey, man, let's go to Bobby Mackey's. I'm like, dude, it's in Kentucky. He's like, dude, fucking Kentucky's right there. I'm like, how far in Kentucky is it, man?
Wilder, Kentucky.
I'm like, I'm not driving to Bobby Mackey's. How far? Dude, it's 10 minutes. Let's go. I'm like, all right, we're going to Bobby Mackey's. And we went to Bobby Mackey's. We just showed up, knocked on the door. They were just opened. It was like I think it was a Friday night, maybe. Yeah, it had to be a Friday night. And then there was nobody in the place. It was like a couple bartenders, and that was it, man. We hung out in Bobby Mackey's, just hanging out, man, for 2 or 3 hours.
Bobby knows how to party.
It was a good time, man.
For sure. Oh my goodness.
All right, guys, I gotta get ready to get off here, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks for stopping in and doing this with us, man.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Great show.
Yeah, good talking to you, man. Hopefully, we'll either catch you in Gettysburg this year, or maybe come out your way to check out something that way up in North.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to. I haven't heard any more about the Gettysburg Bash. I know I'm on the flyer. I saw him on there. So yeah. So if you book me, I'll come.
It'd be great to see you, brother. Great to meet you.
Yeah, we might just come up and check out that Fort Delaware, man. That sounds pretty
Fort
badass.
Delaware, man, it's a definite. You got to do it, man. If there's any place in this area, I mean, you got Pennhurst, Eastern States, and Fort Delaware. They're the 3 main ones in this area, man. You got to do. Haldeman Mansion is pretty good too. Haldeman Mansion is really good. I've had some great experiences there. Mustafa and I, we've investigated there a couple times. Did events there. But they're the 3 big ones in this area. Fort Delaware, I absolutely love, man. And Pennhurst is amazing. Absolutely. And Eastern States, man, the people at Eastern States are great. Amazing.
Are they
people.
back open for investigating now?
I heard.
I know. I was in Pennsylvania last year, and I went by there, and they weren't open. They were
I heard they were. I've seen people posting on social media about them doing Eastern States, so I think they are.
That's a bucket list for me too. I got to check that place out.
Yeah, they're all
see the infamous Dude Run location.
No, that's cool. It's a cool place. Just to go there, it's an amazing experience. Just how immense that place is, how big it is.
The layout's crazy.
It's not just that. It's just like you're in Center City, Philadelphia, and all of a sudden you come down the end of the block and there's Eastern States, man. It just takes up.
Holy crap! Right in the middle. Wow.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. Well, the city grew up around it. It used to when it first opened up back in the 1800s. It was literally like a mile from the city, but the city has grown so much.
Oh wow!
It's grown around it, and it takes up a whole city block. The walls of the building of the prison are the city block. So you're driving down on a road, on a street, and you're looking at a wall here and a house here looking at the wall. Yeah, it's
damn. Yeah, I can't wait to check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I love it.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good night, Daryl. Again, man. Thank you for jumping on with us, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh,
Hope we
you're
can do it
welcome,
again
guys.
sometime.
Anytime.
You
Hope
know,
to catch
so,
up with you soon.
Yeah, for sure. We'll set something up, bro. Sounds good.
Enjoy
good summer coming. Let's do it.
Yeah.
No doubt. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend, brother. Good talking to you.
You too, guys. Later.
Have a good one, everybody.